Okay, so this next thing we're going over is called the equipment matrix. This piece of paper is hanging up in every room. You can see it's laminated. Some of you may be looking in the room and going, I don't know where that is, or I don't know what that is. So that's why we're going over this today, okay? Most of the activities listed here on the side are how people, staff, have injured themselves, assisting a patient rolling in bed, boosting somebody in bed, performing a lateral transfer, or helping to get somebody out of bed. That's where our injuries occur. Okay, so you can see two different colors here. Green means go, red means stop. Okay, this is designed to try to be a quick reference for the staff when you're not sure how to move a patient. If I want to roll a patient, okay, if the patient can do it, but they need some cueing, ask them to turn their head, reach their arm. Okay, so if they're rolling to the left, okay, if I'm going to roll to my left, I want to turn my head to the left because that's where my body will start to go. I want to reach with my right arm, so I go to the left, reach for the railing, and I want to bend my knee and push, okay? That way they're moving like a log, okay? Ask them to do that. That's what this independent column is, okay? Turn the head, reach with the arm, same side knee, bends and push, okay? If they need some help, the patient's going to roll that same method, and you're going to give them help at their shoulder blade and at their pelvis, okay? That will help them to move like a log, okay? If the patient cannot do that easily, right, we want you to use the hover mat, okay? Or you could even use the chuck, but the hover mat is the way to eliminate yourself having to get in this kind of position where you're going to injure your shoulders and your backs, okay, by having to reach, okay? That's what we want to eliminate by that. So rolling in bed, that's that quick reference. If you can use these words to try to get the patient to roll, great, let them do it. If the hover mat is underneath them because they can't move, then blow it up, and you can use that to roll them. We will go over that later on in other videos. Boosting a patient in bed, this is probably one of the toughest ones, okay? You have the 300-pound patient and they say they can't do it. Give them a chance to move, okay? Because none of us are going to be able to just boost that 300-pound patient with our manual force. And it's not safe for us to do that. We're going to hurt our necks and our shoulders and our backs, okay? One person may not pull as evenly as the other. But force is just too great, okay? So one thing you can do, okay? Have the patient bend their knees, okay? Reach up for the top of the bed, and then have them push, all right? Ask them to do as much. If they can't get their shoulders up there, have them dig their elbows in and push back. We went over some of this when we went over the beds, okay? If they need a little bit of help, okay, they bend their knees, okay? You assist them by putting your hands up against their legs, all right? You can also use the bed in the Trendelenburg position. So you tilt the bed back so that they're angled down toward the head, and that gives them a little advantage. If they can't do these things, right, then you should use the hover mat to boost them up. Go get the pump, blow it up. It takes 2 seconds. Plug it in, hit the button, up we go. Wait for it to inflate, and then you're safe. You don't hurt yourself, and the patient has an easier ride up the bed, okay? Lateral transfers, okay? Some patients are able to scoot themselves from the bed over to the stretcher. You line things up and you scoot them on over, okay? If they need a little help, you could help move their leg and help them lift to scooch their bottom over, all right? But let them do as much as they can. If they can't do it, then use the hover mat, okay? When you use the hover mat, it should be feet first, then head. Alphabetical order. What, F or H? What comes first? Feet. Feet, then head. Okay? That way we avoid putting ourselves in that position. You just push the feet, person on the other side takes the feet, and then you push the head and get the head. It might have to happen a couple times, but that also we will go over. Okay? So that's lateral transfers. Getting someone out of bed depends on what their problem is. Some people may need to roll through sideline first, okay? But you get the person in a sitting position, okay? They need to be able to lean forward. Getting forward is the important part to standing. So if someone's struggling to stand up, hey, lean forward a little bit more. Put your hand on their shoulder blade and just help them to get forward, okay? that would be where you help them a little bit. If somebody can't do those things once they're sitting on the side of the bed, then we should use the stand lift that we've gone over in another video. Okay? Once somebody is standing, the out of bed to chair and the gait, that kind of goes hand in hand. Once you get them to the standing position, they have to be able to march in place. Stepping test, okay? If they can march in place, that means they can shift their weight to take a step. If you ask them to do that and their feet stay, they're not going to be able to go from point A to point B without dragging them. Okay, you're going to have to get the stand lift. If they can do this, give them a walker and let them take little steps. We should not be holding on to people and dragging them over to a commode or a chair. Give them a walker, stand up. Can you march in place? Yes or no? If they can't do it, then you should get the stand lift. If they can, then give them the time to take the little steps over. People are going to change, all right? So when they get up from the commode or after they've been sitting for 2 hours, if they can't do that test again, then you should get the stand lift, okay? So this is a quick reference guide here. What do I do? What does a patient have to do for me to be able to go and let them do the activity? It's right there. If they can't do that, then this is the equipment and the list of the equipment that you have at your fingertips to use to complete those activities. That's the purpose of this piece of paper in everybody's room.